I am making a story inspired by all tomorrows, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. So basically the gist of it is humanity leaves Earth and they go out into the cosmos, and it's going to be about all of the planets that they go to and the modifications that they have to make to themselves in order to live there, right? I already have one group of people sort of fleshed out already, so I'll show you those so you can sort of get a taste of what I'm talking about here. So basically these are called the Frill people. If you have a better name, then leave it in the comments. And their deal is they went to a planet that didn't have quite enough oxygen and had too much stuff in the atmosphere like carbon monoxide and stuff like that. So the atmosphere was poisonous to them. Problem was they couldn't just change the atmosphere, even though they did have the technology to do so, because there was already independent extraterrestrial life that lived there, and if they changed the atmosphere, it would wipe out all of those aliens, which they didn't want to do. So what they did instead was they modified themselves in order to just be able to live and breathe in that atmosphere. And they did this by doing stuff like putting big old filters all the way down their throat, so that when they breathed in, the air would go in, but stuff like carbon monoxide would get caught, and stuff like oxygen would go down into their lungs. And it was also really hot on the planet, so while they were at it, they gave themselves these big skin collars that essentially act the same way as like an elephant's ears do. And just through sheer surface area, they make heat dissipate a lot faster. But all of this like really liberal use of body modifications early on in their culture shifted the culture as a whole, and now just like changing your body and changing your physical appearance, whether that be through giving yourself piercings or tattoos or doing that thing where you like cut your tongue in half and now you have like a forked tongue. None of that is taboo or weird at all, and a lot of people consider it weird not to do that stuff. And so the counterculture, like the punks of the world, they don't have any tattoos, they don't have any piercings, they just have like regular well-kempt hair, and they have really mundane and non-flashy clothes, because that's the opposite of what everybody else does, and that's like sort of their way of sticking it to the man in this society, right? And so like old-fashioned frill people will go to church and they'll talk about how they're concerned about their grandson because he hasn't even gotten his first ear piercing yet. And I think that's really fun. And yeah, so that's basically their deal, and there's going to be more guys like them. I'm going to show a couple more of the other people that I have planned. I'm not going to go too in depth about any of them in this episode. I'm going to talk about them in later episodes. But the gist of this whole series is going to be like every episode I go in depth about a specific group of people on a different planet, and I just talk about them for the whole episode, and then like just I slowly build this really expansive and bizarre world with all you guys. And I think that'll be really fun. And if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, then subscribe and ring the bell so you'll be notified whenever another video comes out. And also share it with a friend who, if you think they'd also enjoy it. And one last thing, 1,000 subscribers. That's freaking wild, dude. The start of this week I had 200. It took me 4 years to get to 200 subscribers. And then it took me like a day and a half to get 1,000, and that's wild to me. So yeah, if you're one of the new faces, thank you. I'm glad that you wanted to stick around. I'm glad you liked the original video, the first All Tomorrows video, and hopefully you like my other stuff too. So yeah, until next time, don't die. See you later.